What's going on? What's going on, everybody? You muted LV.
Hey, y'all already know it happens from time to time. What's going on? What's going on, my beautiful people? Happy Thursday, and welcome to another episode of Grow, Live, Dream. I'm your boy, LeVar Robinson, and this is my brother T. Hutton, the motivator. And today we're going to be talking about, are we there yet? You're like, what are we talking about? We're going to explain that to you guys here in just a moment. What's up, T. Hutton? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing really good today. It's a great day. It's nice, sunny out today. It's been a good day thus far. It's going to be a great remainder of the day. I got a lot of stuff on the plate today. Got investors calls, all kinds of things today. So we're going to definitely have a great day today. How about you?
Oh, man, absolutely amazing. I get to this money. You know, it looked absolutely amazing today. Yesterday was all gloomy and stuff, and today it's all sunny. I feel like getting up out of here and going to do something fun. I was thinking about going on a walk. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing rocking. First and foremost, what's up, Daniel? How you doing? Happy Thursday, my brother. And to everybody else that's on the line and watching, make sure that you guys are commenting. Make sure you guys are sharing, liking, loving, right? In other words, make sure you guys are in on the conversation because we are here for you. All right, T. Hutton, let's do it, brother.
Man, well, let's get rolling with it. Are we there yet? Man, what are they talking about today? Well, we're talking about getting somewhere. And the interesting part about it is when we think about this question, because I'm sure you've heard it from someone before. Normally the person asking the question, are we there yet, is not in the driver's seat. But they are along with you for the journey. They're along with you heading towards the destination. But we're headed somewhere. And as a group, we're all headed somewhere in life. And we always get that same question, are we there yet? LeVar, have you ever been going somewhere? And I know you got the boys and they be like, man, are we there yet? You know, kids love to ask that question. That's like one of their favorite questions. You put them in a car, they want to know, are we there yet?
You already know it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that here this summer when we go to Disney World. I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, are we there yet? But, you know, and that's the thing. You know, most people that are not in the driver's seat and not necessarily paying attention to what's going on with yourself and in your life, they don't have any idea, right? So that can be good and it can be bad. Some people are okay with watching and seeing what's going on, and other people, you know, they're giving their 2 cents. They're giving their 2 cents, regardless of whether you want it or not. You know, you sure we're going the right way? You sure? You know?
Old backseat drivers.
But what's up, Yesenia? Tammy, what's happening? What's happening?
So look, when I look at this and I think about, are we there yet? I know oftentimes as a kid, we would take road trips. You know, we would head into the direction. And if you didn't know, you knew you were going somewhere, but you didn't know where it was at, where the final destination was. So when I look at this from a motivational standpoint, I see this as people working with someone on a vision that's not their vision. You're looking to build a business, a legacy, or you're trying to reach a particular goal, but people helping you don't know exactly what the goal looks like. So we can look at this from two different directions. One, as a leader, the person in the driver's seat, we have to do a better job of explaining the destination.
Painting the picture,
making the picture real. So the individuals in the vehicle with you, the people on the journey with you, are prepared and they know where the destination is that you're headed to.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful with making sure that you are painting that picture, right? Because how many times have you had people that were on a ride with you that start second guessing the direction? Right? How many times? And when we talk about ride, we're not necessarily talking about just the vehicle. We're talking about in life in general, where you're going, having people in your circle, having people around you. What tends to happen, and this happens a lot, T. Hutton, when people can't necessarily see the vision, like the person that's leading the direction, when they start second guessing, they actually start spilling over into other people that are going in a direction with you as well. And not only can they do that, they can also bring doubt in your own mind, right? I've had that happen. Sometimes I would be driving somewhere and I'm pretty sure I know, where I'm going. And I have somebody be like, are you sure? And I'm like, no, I'm going the right direction. And they're like, are you sure? And then I start second guessing. I'm like, Yeah, I believe I'm sure.
I thought I was sure when I started.
I thought I was sure, but this happens way too often, and it's something that we have to make sure that we're very clear about. We have to make sure we explain and make sure we're very clear on the picture, very clear on the vision, very clear on the direction.
So when you get in this vehicle of life and you're headed somewhere, and let's say you feel like you are doing a great job painting this picture, like, hey, look, we're going, and this is where we're going to, and this is the route we're going to take. You know what happens? Fatigue. See, oftentimes it may not be that you didn't do a great job of painting a picture for the destination. They may actually know what the destination look like. LeVar, when you get in the car this summer and you taking the boys to Disney World, you can't stop at the zoo and tell them they at Disney World. They know what Disney World looks like. They're not going to fall for that.
Right.
But, so they know the destination. But oftentimes what happens is along the journey, we start to develop fatigue. So there's been some things that we've been working on for so long in our life. I got people that I be life coaching that been working on things for so long that the fatigue is starting to set in, and they're starting to ask the question, are we there yet?
Now,
how much longer until I get there?
Asking themselves.
Yeah. And asking the question, how much longer till I get there? Because I've been going down this path too long. Did I miss my exit? They start, like you said, start second guessing themselves, like, well, maybe I'm going the wrong way. Did I miss my exit? But what happens is fatigue sets in. And fatigue sets in for those that are in the driver's seat and for those that are riding along on the journey. Those that came along for the journey. Fatigue sets in.
And you know, and that what you'll hear on our show where we'll talk about making sure you have the right types of individuals around you, the right types of people, the right types of nuggets, knowledge, mentors around you, because those are going to be what you need when that fatigue sets in, right? More times than not, when that fatigue sets in and the vision kind of gets blurry, we got to make sure that we re-look at that GPS and make sure that we're going in the right direction. But we have to believe in the GPS. So hold on. You got to believe in the GPS in order for you to continue going and continue moving at the pace that you need to move in, right? If you believe the GPS is wrong, how many times, and that's right, Yesenia, evaluate. All right. So look, listen, how many times have you had Google Maps on, T. Hutton? I don't know if you've done this before, but I have had Google Maps going, and Google got me going a particular direction. And it's traffic, and it's traffic. I done got slowed down, and I'm like, man, hold on. There gotta be a better way. Now, this Google can't be right on this. Google, talk to me right now. But Google can't be right now. So you get off on an exit. Google reroutes. And it just added another 20, 30 minutes.
To your travel. To your drive time.
To your time, right? When in truth, the problem that happened is that you were fatigued and you didn't believe that Google was taking you in the right direction. You're like, nah, I got to be a better way.
Yeah, and fatigue sets in for people in different manners.
Yeah,
like I know we're using an example of like, are we there yet? Like driving and traveling in a car. You know, it's interesting that, you know, one of the most comfortable positions in the car is the driver's seat. It's one of the most taxing positions in the car, but it's also one of the most comfortable positions in the car. And the reason cars are designed that way is because they understand that the driver gets fatigued. They have laws against truckers driving for so long because fatigue sets in. And when fatigue sets in, disaster happens. Let me say that again. When fatigue sets in, then disaster happens. So what happens is if you've been working on this dream, this goal for so long, and fatigue sets in, you start to do things different than you would have done had you been rested. You've heard me and LeVar oftentimes say things like, take a breath, take a step back, take a minute to yourself. Because what happens is you need to have that to get back out there and continue to go. Because you'll work so hard that if you don't allow yourself to catch your second win, then you won't allow yourself to get your first win.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Because they say that when you're traveling long distance, that it's good to stop from time to time for 10 to 15 minutes, stop at a rest stop, stop at a gas station, stop, maybe grab a snack or whatever, take a break, or is what you just said, a breath, right? But what we tend to do is we tend to move and forget about that break. And then we wonder why that fatigue sets in even further, right? This is why we have to be super aware of our decisions along the way, because you know where you're going. The people around you may not. Their fatigue may set in so much more faster than what your fatigue is. Which is why, once again, we have to make sure that vision is right. Yesenia says, learn to take a breath, rest, stay the course, remaining the same and focused on the goal. That's right.
You said something, and I just want to touch on that. You mentioned that you need to stop, pull over to the side to this rest area. If you didn't need to take a rest, why did they build rest areas? See, there's some things that was already built and put out there in front of you that you are passing by that was meant for your good. Mm-hmm. There was some stuff that was set up for you before you got there. Those rest areas that was there long before you came, before you decided to leave, that rest area was already built and established. Mm-hmm. See, there's some things in your life that are out there for you to take that break. There's some moments set aside for you to take those breaks that if you don't take them, then it takes more from you. Watch this, LeVar. You take a trip, right? You say, LeVar, I'm going to go to California. I'm going to go visit some friends, family in California. I'm going to buy a plane ticket, right? Mm-hmm. If you buy a nonstop, does it cost you more to take the nonstop, or does it cost you less? I mean, does it cost you more for the nonstop, or it costs you less to take the one that stops? Nonstop tickets normally are more expensive, right? Mm-hmm. See, it's going to cost you more if you don't take those breaks. It's going to cost you more in your life if you don't take those breaks. So when you get to that point and you start asking yourself, are we there yet? When those around you start asking, are we there yet? It's because fatigue has set in because you haven't set yourself up in a position where you've taken the adequate amount of breaks.
So here's the thing. I love what Herschel said. He said, you got to have vision. I love what he said. So here is something that's really important. So before you go on a trip, this is what I do. Okay. And I know you do this as well. But before I go on a trip, I actually look already. I have an idea of where I'm going to stop already before I even start the trip. Yeah. I have an idea of where I'm going to stop for gas, or I have an idea where I'm going to stop for a rest. If I'm going very far, I know for a fact where I'm going to take a sleep. I already know this, right? So it's very clear. I'm making sure that my plan is setting me up to win. So we have to do that when we're moving throughout our life. We say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Where is the destination? Do you even know your destination? Do you even know what your vision is? Like, have you ever wrote it down? How often have you actually wrote down where you're going and the steps that you need to take in order to get there? A majority of us are just saying, I want to go here, and they're not even looking at what it looks like in order to get there. It's like $1 million. People want to say, I want to be a millionaire. You don't even know what that looks like. You don't even know what it takes to be a millionaire. You don't even realize how easy that is. If you actually looked at it, if you actually broke it down, you'll realize that you have less to do to be a millionaire than what you ever thought. But truth of the matter is that you don't know, you haven't looked, and because of that, you're going to be in a cycle your whole life, just saying it out loud instead of doing in the right action, putting in the right work, going in the right direction to get there.
Yeah. And that's it. Herschel put driving aimlessly. That's that person that just gets in the vehicle. That's the person that's the person that just rolls out the bed. They don't have any plan for the day. They don't know what the day is going to look like. They don't know what the week's supposed to look like. They don't have any idea how their life is supposed to go. They're just going along with life. But they say rolling with the punches.
Rolling with the punches.
Sometimes you're rolling with the punches is a good thing, but other times you're just rolling with the punches because you're walking around aimlessly. Are you walking around aimlessly? Or are you making a conscious decision on what it is that you want to accomplish in life, where it is that you want to go? Because here's the thing. You can't ask, are we there yet, if you don't know where there is. You get what I mean, LeVar? Like, there's no point in asking, are we there yet, if you don't know whether there is.
Yeah, real quick. If you know where you're going and you know you need to write a plan, I need you to go ahead and put a 7 in the chat. If you know where you're going and you know you need to write a plan, I need you to put a 7 in the chat. Because here's the thing. In order for you to get there, you have to be committed to the process. You have to be committed to what it's going to take in order for you to get there. Once again, you have to be committed to what it takes in order for you to get there, in order for you to make sure that you're moving along the journey, in order for you to make sure that you're not falling asleep, in order for you to make sure that you're getting your rest, in order for you to make sure that your vision is clear. That your vision is clear. Go ahead.
You know what entertains me about this, and the reason I liked it, this actual topic, are we there yet? The thing about being, are we there yet, is the we.
It's the we.
I think the we gets overlooked with the there or the yet part of things when we think about this phrase. Because here's the thing, somebody committed to go on the journey with you. That in itself is a shouting moment there, because somebody said, you know what? I believe in your vision. Even if you don't, I believe in your vision. I'm willing to go down this ride with you. This journey, wherever it's going to lead us to, I'm willing to go with you. You have a co-pilot in the vehicle with you. You have somebody willing to take the trip with you. That there yet part of that is awesome. But that we there yet? Because either we are not there or we are there. There's no you there and I'm there. It's are we there? That's amazing.
And the right people gonna be a part of that we. I need y'all to hear that. The right people gonna be a part of that we. We spoke about in our last show is, you know, what you're doing is not just for you. What you're doing is not just for you. Your journey is not just for you, right? I remember my grandmother saying, you're going to be the one that's going to take our families to heights they've never seen before. She said, you're going to be the one to take our family. She didn't say you're going to be the one that's going to reach heights our family has never seen before. I need you guys to hear what I just said. We got to understand that what we're doing for more than just us. It's we. It's we. That's why we didn't say, am I there yet?
Yeah. Have you made it?
You're there yet?
Have you made it to your destination? No, I'm on this journey with you. Are we there?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got a flat. We traveling somewhere. We got a flat. I didn't get a flat. We got a flat. We need to get out and change this car. We ran out of gas. We tired. Do we take a stop or do we keep going? Here's something interesting. If you got the right person in the car with you and you can't stop, guess what you do? You switch drivers. Because the other person understood the vision and they know where you're going. See, sometimes you gotta switch drivers. You know what? In NASCAR, they actually have teams and they have multiple drivers on that team. And when they're running those 400 or 500 laps, they just switch drivers. The car never stops going around the track. It pulls in, takes a quick break, switch drivers, and gets back on the road. And it's the same thing you got to do in your life sometimes. Sometimes you got to let somebody else get behind the wheel. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm that person who have a problem with other people driving. Let's just be transparent. I'm the person in the car that got my hand on the handle like, come on, bro. I know you've seen that light turning red. If my wife watches this, she'll tell you that's facts. Like I'm holding on. But at some point, you still have to give up the keys and let somebody else drive.
It's funny because when my pop, whenever we would drive long distance, see, a lot of people actually have things that pretty much let you know they tired, right? They start doing certain things, certain fidgeting. My dad, when he does, he start rubbing his head. He start rubbing his head. I start looking like, you good, Pop? He'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, you good, Pop? You sure? Like, yeah. Hey man, let's pull over. I got it, right? I pull over, I drive. Within a few minutes, he knocked out cold, right? You need people in your life that are gonna watch out for you. You need people in your life that are going to help save you from yourself sometimes.
Hey, but watch this, LeVar. You got to let them do it. Because here's something that people do. Watch this. Here's something they do. You might give up the keys and get in the passenger seat. And you need to be sleeping. You need to be sleeping because your turn to drive is coming back around. But you're too worried about focusing on the other person driving that you can't rest. And so when they get tired, you never got any rest. So now the car has to stop.
It has to stop.
Because you didn't trust the people in the car with you. Like you thought it was, am I there yet? When the fact that it was, are we there yet? And you didn't trust the we portion of things. See, they have been trusting you, but have you been trusting them?
Trust the vision of the pack. Trust the vision of the pack in order to be able to do what you need to do to be able to make sure the pack is winning. Because you got to get your sleep, you got to get your rest so that you can do your part. In order for you all to get to where you need to go. Are we there yet? In order for everyone to get to where they need to go, everybody must do their part. So we then go back to that vision. We then go back to that direction. We then go back to where we're attempting to go, period. Does everyone around you believe in the direction and believe in where you guys are going? There's nothing wrong with them not. You just have to know that they don't. There's nothing wrong with them not. That's important. You just have to know that they don't. Because at the end of the day, you have to put the right people around you that you can trust in order for you to win.
I remember taking a trip to South Carolina from Mississippi. I was off at college. I drove home to visit my parents. And when I got there, my mom was like, hey, we need you to take your grandmother to South Carolina. And I was like, well, I just drove 8 hours. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea, but okay. So, I sleep for a few hours, get up, pack the car, me, my grandmother, my auntie leave, and we're heading to South Carolina. As we're on this drive to South Carolina, my grandmother gets tired of driving to South Carolina. And she's like, hey, I think it's time for us to turn around and go home. We've drove too far. We ain't going to make it. Now, here's the crazy part about it. We are literally like 10 minutes from my uncle's house at this point. We're all the way in South Carolina. We're 10 minutes away, and my grandmother's like, turn around and go home. And my auntie looks at me, and she says, keep driving. At some point in your life, you're going to need somebody else to say, keep driving.
Keep driving.
Because those that have fatigue, is not that they don't want to get to the destination. It's just they have already spent all the energy they had allotted for them. But you're going to need that other person that says, keep driving.
Keep driving.
Keep going the direction we're going. We're almost there. Don't give up. Don't turn around. You're almost at the destination. And here's the thing, LeVar, we talked about it before. You get so close to your breakthrough that you turn around right there. You make a U-turn at the intersection. On the other side of the intersection is your breakthrough. All you had to do was get through that intersection, and you get to that intersection. You say, nope, here's another cross path. Let me just make a U-turn and go back the other way. And you didn't even realize that your destination is right there across that intersection.
So I want to jump in. And I want to go back to what you just said, about you saying, that you said your cousin or your auntie. Your auntie said, keep going. Who are you telling to keep going? Let's look at that. We can always look at what other people are saying to us.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you right now in your life telling to keep going? Who are you telling? Are you telling someone to keep going right now? Are you pushing people to go after their dreams? Are you pushing the people in your path, the people that are closest to you, the people that are in your circle? Do you even care about their vision? Do you even care about where they're going? I'm not sure if you're experiencing what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
See, but I'm frozen.
Yeah, I see you frozen also. But I get what you're saying. Like, do you care about the person's vision that you're there with? Like, are you pushing someone to continue on in the face of, failure? I was literally having a conversation last night with my wife, and we were talking about famines and how famines work, and the reason that how the famine oftentimes make you want to faint, because when everything dries up, you're ready to give up. Because so many different failures are happening in your life, you continue to deal with those failures, and you're ready to give up, but you have to press on.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes, when the rain does come, you see the rain as another problem, because you've been dealing with so many other problems, you can't see the blessing in the midst of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is oftentimes is that we find ourselves giving up when we should keep pushing. And when it's time for someone to keep pushing, are we the person that's going to urge them to continue to push on? Or we're going to sit back on our hands and say, you know what, it's up to you. It's your life. You do with it as you choose. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to step up to the plate and say, hey, I believe in you. You can do it. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. Keep fighting. The fight ain't over with yet. You still got more in you. It's like that drill. It's like that personal trainer at the gym when you're working out on the bench and you have that weight above you and he keep telling you, give me one more. You say, well, you just told me give you one more. I gave you one more. Well, give me one more. Keep pushing, because it's there that you really develop the muscle. It's there that you really develop the strength. It's there that you find out that you had more on the inside of you than you thought you had on the inside of you. It's there when you find out the truth about yourself. So are you pushing somebody to keep pushing? Or are you asking somebody to give you one more rep? Are you asking somebody to continue to fight for their dreams? Because sometimes they need that encouragement just like you need that encouragement.
I love the thought process of the are we there yet in so many different aspects, right? Because even though we can talk about this from a standpoint of being in the same car, we can also talk about this from a standpoint of us all going in different directions. Right? My direction may not be your direction, but we're both going towards greatness. So are you asking me? Are we asking each other? Are we pushing each other? Are we saying, hey, look, just checking in on you? Just checking in on you, wanted to make sure you're doing what you need to do. See, one thing I know about my best friend, T. Hutton, one thing I know about him, first and foremost, I've been knowing him for a long time. And I can count on him. If I say I'm going to do something, I can count on him without a shadow of a doubt, multiple times a month, reaching out and saying, how's that going? You good? You on pace? Right? He knows that I'm going to hold him accountable as well. Right? But it's important to understand that we don't have to be in the same car. We can be going in different directions. But where we're trying to get to, it's important for the bigger picture. Because no matter where I go, if I'm winning, he winning. And no matter where he goes, if he wins, I'm winning. At the end of the day, you got to make sure you have the right people around you that are pushing for greatness. They're adding to the cause. They're adding to your mindset. They're adding to your growth, not taking away. It's nothing wrong with people that are not going in the right direction. The problem then becomes when there's people that's stagnant and they don't really want to go nowhere. And they got a problem with how hard you're going in order for you to get to where you need to go. When you start eliminating those people, there's nothing wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and keep you over here for a little bit. We'll talk from time to time, but I can't have you in my circle on a day-to-day basis because you're causing too much confusion in my brain. You're causing too much confusion in my mind. right? If T Hutton reached out to me and was like, man, I don't know if we ever gonna make it, man. I love him dearly, but the amount we talk, we won't talk that often. At the end of the day, had nothing to do with the fact that I don't love him, and everything to do with the fact that we have to make sure that we pour into each other's mindset. That's why we're going to always say, make sure you keep the people around you that you need to keep around you with the right mindset. People that are going to push you in order for you to go to where you need to go. People that are going to push you in your times when you're down. And the times when you're down, they're saying, hey, look, keep going. You got this. Just like your auntie. She said, keep going. Right? The other people may not have saw it. Your grandmother might not have even realized how close you were. But the auntie understood we've come too far. Keep going. And that's what I want to make sure that everybody who's watching right now, make sure that you have the right people that are around you, regardless whether they're in the car with you or not. Are we there yet? Is important. It's super important because we all have to get to where we need to go. We all have to move together. We all have to achieve our dreams. We all have to build this thing big. Go ahead and close this out, T. Hutton.
Are we there yet? This is a question that oftentimes we find ourselves asking. Not only others, but we ask ourselves this question. Are we there yet? Where are we heading? Do we know the destination? Do we completely have a clear understanding of where there is? And the interesting thing about it, we didn't get a chance to touch on it today, but the yet part of it is a time frame that we've already told ourselves that we must arrive. Life doesn't always go as we plan. So the yet part of things is tentative, is TBD. But the passion behind the drive, the motivation, the vision is stagnant, is there, is waiting on us to achieve it. And I say us because the we portion of that is so important. Know that this journey of life, you're not on by yourself. It may seem like you're on this path by yourself, like you're the only one headed this direction or headed that direction or whatever it is direction that you're headed in. Know that you're not on this journey by yourself. We might not be in the car with you. We might not be on the plane with you. We might not be on the boat with you, but you're headed the direction. And we want to know, are we there yet? And that we is you and me, whether I'm there in physical or I'm there in emotional or I'm there in just general support. Are we there yet? That yet is important, but more important is the we. Continue to fight, continue to struggle, continue to push, never give up, because the are we there yet part of things is important, but it's you that matters the most. We want you to take time and go out, subscribe on our YouTube channel, Grow, Live, Dream. Make sure you like, love, and share. All these messages are not about us. They are for you, for your growth. That's right. For your opportunity. We want you to push these messages like we push these messages out to you, to your family members, friends, and those who you know who can use them. Because that we part of things, you're part of that we. So let's get out there and do it. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Well.